This podcast, more than anything else, is about relationships. As such, I want to introduce you folks to a concept known as goal posting. I have always been an opponent, not a proponent, of goal posting. However, goal posting in marriage and relationships is an awful lot like goal posting in childcare and child rearing. Here's what I mean. In law, we first start out with the definition. I will paraphrase the definition of goal posting for you. Goal posting means you set an original target and then you change it. As a person reaches the target, suddenly that's no longer the end point, no longer the target. Then there's another target and another goalpost, and it keeps getting moved and shifted more and further, farther along. Goal posting in a marriage is when husband marries a wife and husband thinks that wife should be a certain way, and she hits her target. She does what the husband wants. Maybe she works part-time and then becomes a mom, but then the husband says, well, you work part-time, you're a mom, but then there's this other thing I want you to do, or there's this other role I need you to fill, or you're not doing well enough here. For instance, if a woman says, I married a project of a man, but I can get him to change. We've heard this a million times. He'll change after we get married. He will completely mature. He will evolve. He will fit into the role as time goes by. I can change him. You married a playboy. You married somebody who's selfish. You married somebody with interests, and now you think that those should stop just because you're married and that other person should share only your interests. This is goal posting. For instance, you marry a man and you think that he should earn $75,000 a year. And that's wonderful. That's great. That's success. And then the man earns $75,000 a year within 5 years and seems to have done really well. Well, then suddenly $75,000 is not enough. Now you have two kids. Now you need $100,000, which seems reasonable and fine. But now the pressure is on. If you're not going to work and you're going to be a homeschooler parent, or you're going to be a stay-at-home parent, and you're not contributing financially, although you're contributing a mountain of other things, granted, sure. But to expect your husband to now suddenly magically earn 25,000 or more a year, and suppose he does find a way within 2 years to earn $100,000, well, then maybe you want a bigger house because you have 2 or 3 kids at this point. Or maybe you want a bigger house because you're getting older and you want more comforts, you want more satisfaction, you want more to show for all of your efforts and everything you've done. Fine, granted, totally understood, but you've goal posted. No matter what your other partner does, what you're doing every time they achieve success is then saying, that's not success. Success is now this. It used to be X, now it's Y, tomorrow it's going to be Z. This could be with a personality trait. This could be with hobbies. This could be a division of responsibilities around the house. Ultimately, what's happening is you're changing the terms of the relationship. Relationships evolve naturally on their own. The question is, have you driven the other person away because you're not letting a natural evolution to the relationship happen? You're not letting the other person mature at their own rate or respond to your needs or to mutual needs naturally. Instead, you're setting target after target after target. And no matter how much the other person achieves that target, it's never good enough. The second they achieve it, there's no time for satisfaction. There's no time for happiness. There's no time for reward. It's time to move on to the next thing. Well, we could argue that that's what successful people are. Elon Musk purchases a company. Well, then he wants to purchase another company. And once he's done with that, another company and another company, and then synergize those companies and then use those assets to use for something else because you're never truly done. If you are stagnating, maybe you're not growing, maybe you're not succeeding. There is an argument to be made for that. But putting unlimited pressures on the other party with no time for enjoyment and no time for show of appreciation, that can lead to divorce. And let's take an example in child rearing. It's necessary in childcare. Your 5-year-old suddenly starts reading stage 1 books. Well, of course, you want to get them on to stage 2, let reading level 3, reading level 4, reading level 5. They have a B in school and they improve from a C. Well, okay, why can't you get an A? this is what parenting is all about, then we must think to ourselves, is marriage like parenting? Is your partner inherently a child? I mean, we all mature at different rates. I'm now 45 years old. In some ways, I feel like I'm 100. In other ways, I feel like I'm 16. This is how the mind works: part nurture, part nature, part how your life has gone, your personal experiences. I think it's worth considering for you folks trying to get a divorce because you think that your partner has not lived up to their obligations or has not fulfilled what they were supposed to fulfill. Who said they were supposed to fulfill that? Who set those terms? Who set those goals? It is worth considering whether or not you've driven the person away and whether or not you yourself are fulfilling everything that they might expect of you, or if they just simply want you to be you. And there's something to be said for that unique individuality and sacrifice for the team, but both people should make that sacrifice for the team, not just one. Before you goalpost, consider whether or not that goalposting is going to end the game or that goalposting is going to lead to something prosperous.